listening to The Breakfast Show here on Faith FM. And coming up in our program, Lawson, we are going to hear from a pastor that is sharing the gospel and studying the Bible with Barron Trump.
Wow.
Donald Trump's 19-year-old son, who does not identify as a Christian, but is now apparently very close to being so.
Wow.
We're also going to have Justin Lawman here with us. He's going to be sharing with us some of the latest news in the world scene. So he's going to be talking about e-safety, updates on the war in Ukraine, and a number of other very interesting news that have been popping up in the last few days. What about you, Lawson? What are you going to be talking about?
Hey, I'm going to be talking about Vilpa.
Vilpa?
Yeah. You'll learn.
Okay.
You'll see.
We'll find out what Vilpa is.
What does Vilpa mean? Hey, you'll be hearing all about it. Before we jump into any of that, let's get into a quiz question. Please, producer Shell, what have you got for us?
All right, our third one for today. Concerning which disciple did the rumor spread that he would not die? Which disciple, which of the 12 had that rumor about him? And Lawson's got it. He's on the money. Well done. We're waiting on Skafy in the studio, but in the meanwhile, we can give out the number, and he's got it correct as well. 0491064669 is our text line for you to text in what you think the correct answer is concerning which disciple did the rumor spread that he would not die.
And yeah, I'll give a tip. It's not Lawson.
It's not me.
No.
He's not one of the 12.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But he's a disciple.
Unfortunately. Hey, you're listening to The Breakfast Show here on Faith FM. And this morning, I'm going to be talking about Vilpa. Now, you might be wondering, what is Vilpa? Is that what you're wondering right now?
I am wondering.
I hope you're wondering that because I've never heard of Vilpa until now either. I believe this acronym was, only recently made up, but it essentially stands for Vigorous, Imminent Lifestyle Physical Activity. Vigorous, imminent lifestyle, physical activity. Now, Vilpa is essentially then what we can see. It's just like doing physical things as a part of your normal life. I was reading this morning just about how Vilpa and things like it ultimately, HIT. You have the acronym HIT as well as similar things there.
What is HIT? The only HIT that I know as an acronym is high intensity interval training.
Yeah. So, this kind of, it's an acronym like HIT, but HIT obviously applying to the actual, so HIT we've got for working out. Vilpa is the acronym that we have for not working out, but living a good fitness lifestyle.
What are you talking about? It's like living in a farm, building your log cabin with the trees that you are cutting yourself. Is that what you mean?
According to some research that has recently done, studies have found that 3 to 4 1-minute Vilpa bouts, so a bout of Vilpa, one application of Vilpa for 1 minute long per day, reduce the risk of premature death by 40%, reduce cardiovascular death risk by 49%, and improves heart health despite a sedentary lifestyle.
Okay, so help me to understand. What you're saying sounds very good. I mean, it's almost like immortality recipe right there.
Yeah, as a result of
reducing the risk of overall death in 40%.
Yeah.
So
due to 4 minutes of Vilpa per day. Now you're probably wondering,
how do I do a Vilpa?
What is a Vilpa? Okay, I'll give you an example of a Vilpa. Let's say,
splitting logs. Is that it?
Let's now you're going full lumberjack mode with it right now. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's go. Okay, let's say you're driving home from work and you're like, oh man, I'm getting home from work, just want to relax. Before you do, because I know at the front of your house, you got some stairs up to your veranda. Hey, you got some stairs there?
I do, yeah. I do have to, climb up a flight of stairs.
So you come to that flight of stairs and you're like, you know what? I'm going to double every step and try and run up this thing for a minute. I'm going to go up and down for just 1 minute's time. Come to my stairs. Let's go up and down it for a minute. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Probably in a minute, you might do it 3-4 times maybe. And you'll go, okay, I've done my minute of stairs Vilpa today. Then you walk in the house. Oh. And you're there. You're like, oh, sweet. Like, I'm sweet. I've done 1 minute of Vilpa. And then it's finding another opportunity of it. You know what? I need to pull some weeds out. Let's see how fast I can pull some weeds out of my garden, how vigorous I can do it for 1 minute. And then so for 1 minute, you just like boom, 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 hit a minute of weeding Vilpa. Okay. And then you're like, you know what? Oh, what's your dog's name? You have a dog, right?
I have a dog.
What's his name?
It's Cashew.
Cashew. You're like, and I've met Cashew before. Cashew's really cute. You know, I'm going to do 1 minute of pet Vilpa right now with Cashew. I'm going to let Cashew out of his cage. I'm going to run around with him in the backyard for a minute. I mean, you can do more if you want, but even for 1 minute, let's say, actually.
So, okay, let me see if I'm getting the picture.
Let's make up, actually, just quickly, let's make up your Vilpa quota with 2 minutes of Cashew. Boom, you've done 4 minutes of Vilpa and
so
boom.
It's 4 minutes per day?
Yeah. That reduces risk by like 40%.
I really liked that concept, Lawson.
Yeah.
It opened up my mind just right now. I'm keen to try.
And then this is the question. It's like Vilpa, living a Vilpa lifestyle, and I love saying this word, and that's why I'm saying it over and over again, because I think it's so funny. But and you know, it's not necessarily a company or anything. It's just so we're not advertising anything here. We're just talking about good health. But when you kind of get a Vilpa mindset going on, when you can see, you know, everything that you do as a potential 1 minute physical activity that can make up your quota of Vilpa and kind of break you out of the negative health side effects of sedentariness and you know, other choices that you make.
I love it. I think that my dishes now are going to be washed in, you know, mind-bending speed.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I'm going to transform that into a Vilpa.
Make it a Vilpa moment. Dude, I should be running the Vilpa like fan page, you know, hashtag Vilpa. Like, that's a hashtag Vilpa moment right there.
You know, like changing kids' clothes, like to prepare them to go into bed. Like, So everything that you would normally do, you just transform it into something intense that you can do quicker or faster or better.
Yeah.
That counts like as a mini workout scattered to the day while you get something done.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because would Vilpa apply for like computer work at all?
It's hard to say because, I mean, one of the great guiding principles of physical activity in general is like, you know,
you want to like
whole body movement.
Whole body, at least like part of your body, like half of your body engaged.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, I'm like computer Vilpa. I'm thinking
you can
like
grab a computer, put it under your arm, and like run around the house or something.
You could do something like that, I guess.
Do some push-ups.
But the benefit would come from the walking itself rather than like the typing
doing the actual task
on the keyboard. What they've even found with Vilpa, and obviously this isn't a suggestion to scale back your amount of steps, but what they've found is that it kicks in, you know, the evidence shows the health benefits can begin with doing things like Vilpa, even if you have a very low step count. Even if you're only stepping around 2,200 to 2,700 steps per day, you can already experience the benefits by increasing the intensity of the way that you do things. So essentially, like, pick some activities in the day and turn it into a race, man.
But for example, if you're taking a shower,
okay,
can you Vilpa that somehow?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
what, you do squats while you're showering?
You're in the shower and you're like, I'm going to apply my shampoo as quickly as possible. I'm going to like bend down and pick up the shampoo off the ground and put it back down and pick it up and put it down. I don't know. You could really Vilpa anything. I'm trying to think of one that you could do in the car that's like not dangerous. Maybe
in the car.
I'm thinking, you know, if you're in cruise control on the freeway and you like, you push your feet into the ground and like lift your butt off the chair and put it down, you know, maybe that could be a thing.
I don't know. I'm not recommending that. Maybe not in the car. I'll tell you in the car.
If you're full self-driving.
I'll tell you a Vilpa in the car.
Okay.
If you have an old car, one of these ones that are hard to even start, and you push it like for 1 minute, you push your car from behind from 1 minute, and that's your Vilpa. Like, you know, you take the handbrake off, shift your gears to neutral, and just see how hard you can push your car.
I thought you were going to say, in terms of like in an old car, is like rolling up and down the window.
Yeah,
you know,
that would be a big
like
Vilpa
rolling up and down the window, one hand, rolling up and down the window, other hand.
I'm going to ask producer Shell. Producer, where could you incorporate the Vilpa method into your life?
Yeah, what could you turn into a race? What 1 minute activity could you turn into a race or a high intensity activity?
Anything with my grandchildren.
Real.
Grandchildren chasing.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's your Vilpa quote.
But I guess like you could vacuum your house in like really quick or running or like kind of running in place or lifting your hip, your knees up. There's so
We got
much
stairs,
stuff you can
so
do.
I'm always running up and down the stairs, so that's helpful too.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
to do it for a full minute, okay, so I'll have to go up and down, up and down.
Yeah. The thing
What about with cooking, Lawson? Can you do a cooking with Vilpa?
I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, chop vigorously, but I also don't want you to chop your fingers off, so that's probably... Yeah.
You can get like the pot full of water and you're just like lifting up and down.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm trying to find like
Something
the
that
most
you're actually going to do some work.
streamlined
Yeah.
way, right? Not just like making extra work for yourself. But the thing that's really highlighted by this Vilpa research is the idea that it's actually you're seeing the benefits in less amount of time, which can get you on a path of good health with less amount of time, and then can lead you to turn up the time and make more time of it, make more intentional time. What's being seen here is like a real gateway beginning to better health, which is really cool. And it reminds me of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 19, your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, therefore glorify God in your body. We have a responsibility to glorify God in our body, to be faithful with our activity, our time, and with our health as well. And you could say like, oh, but this shouldn't. I think a lot of what pushes a lot of people away from making lifestyle changes is like how big of a step it's going to be and how difficult it's going to be and whether they can fit it in. But with Vilpa, it's seeming like it's quite small. And if we're called to be faithful in it, the next verse that I think of is Luke chapter 16, verse 10. He who is faithful in what is least is also faithful in much. If you can be faithful 4 minutes a day with your physical exercise, and start there, Vilpering, and then turn it into something more in the future. It's really cool. I think this is a good thing that you can do for yourself, even a way that you can be blessed as well.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
Myself and the Lawson of Lawsons here, of the LeBron of Christian World Radio. And before we talk about Darren Trump, Lawson.
Yeah.
Because I want to share with you a testimony that just came up from a pastor that was witnessing to Darren Trump at 12:30 a.m. about the evidence for Jesus and the case for Christianity. But before we get into there, let's get into quiz answer first. So, Producer Shell.
All right. Are we doing just an answer?
The answer?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So our answer for quiz 3, concerning which disciple did the rumor spread that he would not die? The answer was John.
Yes.
And you can find that in John chapter 21.
John.
Yeah.
John the Apostle.
Big John. Big J.
Yes. That's a great story. There's a lot we can talk about it, but we're not going to talk about it because I actually want to talk to you about Barron Trump. But before we get into Barron Trump, Lawson, I wanted to let you know that we have a giveaway for people that were born in December. If you were born in December and you're listening to us, radio friend, this month is your month, and we are so excited to celebrate your birthday. We have a list of gifts. We have vouchers, we have Bibles, board games, cookbooks, dinner with a host if you'd like to catch up, hang out with Lawson and myself, or Bruce or Shell, or any other host of Faith FM. We're going to try as much as possible to organize that. But if you're born in December and you would like for us to give you a shout out, to pray for you and ask God's richest blessings for your birthday, plus get into a draw for one of the most exquisite gifts that we can possibly give here in the studio, we encourage you to text us to 0491-064-669, and we will
absolutely
get you into that draw.
Hey, what are we looking at here with big dog Barron Trump?
Yeah, so Barron Trump, it's a very interesting figure. He has a bit of a I like his stance, his attitude.
Okay.
A lot of people look at him and say, "Hey, is he going to be like president after?" A lot of people in the MAGA movement see Donald Trump now, maybe potentially for a third term, if he can pull it off. then J.D. Vance for a couple of terms, then Erica Kirk for more 2 terms, and then finally Barron Trump right after that. That's some of the hopes and aspirations that I have seen in the interwebs.
Yeah.
But before that, Barron Trump actually, he's quite young. He's 19 years old. He's the son of
He's a young guy.
Donald Trump with the first lady. And there's a pastor called Stuart Netchell.
Okay. Yep.
Have you heard about him?
Yeah, he's the son of Cliff Nettle, who's Cliff is like a famous evangelist. You
Okay.
know. He's the guy that goes on like college campuses, and he doesn't like do like it's not like a Charlie Kirk thing. It's more like he stands there and just gets people to come and chat, and they chat about, he preaches and chats about the Bible.
Okay.
Gets people to answer their questions. It's very interesting.
Okay. So this pastor, Stuart Netchell, which is, has like 2.4 million followers on TikTok. He's a bit of a celebrity pastor. He serves as an assistant pastor at Grace Community Church in New Canaan, Connecticut. Thinking this is a real Bible name for a real town.
Uh-huh.
And he shared on last Thursday, on the George Janko show, that he recently witnessed to Barron Trump at the phone at 12:30 a.m.
Wow.
And this is what he says. He says this, that I thought, and I'm quoting here from what Pastor Netchell said, I thought I was hitting him with everything but the kitchen sink when it came to all the evidence for God and Christianity. So he's talking about the validity of the Bible. He's talking about prophecies. He's talking like everything that he knows that puts on like the historical record of the Bible. Mm-hmm. And this is what he said next. I thought I was really on. I was pumped, he said. And at the very end, I came up pretty much totally open-handed with nothing.
Wow.
But I brought up dreams and revelations. And I said, hey, look, Barron, I usually don't go by this typically as evidence. I mean, talking about evidence and dreams and revelations.
Okay.
But I have a friend over in Africa who witnesses to thousands of Muslims coming to Christ through dreams and revelations. How do you explain that? And he said that Barron finally conceded and says, you know what? That's a very, very interesting point. Because it involves eyewitness testimony. Mm-hmm. So the pastor noted that, hey, Barron Trump's mind values a lot of eyewitness testimony as a category of evidence that he vouches for, that he goes by. And Netchell said that was the only thing that stuck with him. And he's very close to putting his faith in Christ. Very close.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, let's talk about that.
I'm keen to talk about it.
Okay. What are some of, I want to see, what are some of your reactions first, Lawson?
Yeah. Great question. So we often speak about this, and I think this is something that's often shared amongst the Christian community. The idea of testimonies are kind of unarguable because they're people's own experiences, what they've been through and whatnot. And I think that's what Stuart Nettle's appealing to in a kind of secondhand sense. Like, these people have testimonies of seeing this, experiencing this, going through this. Can you just say that what they're saying is fake or not real, or when it genuinely happened to them? And Barron's saying, I guess I can't. Like, I guess I can't just write it off as fake.
And he's saying something supernatural as well.
Yeah.
And it has been happening across thousands. In some places, there's some statistics that says that in some up to 80% of certain locations in the world, which I'm not going to tell where, Muslims that became Christians say that they actually came to Christianity because of
wow.
That was their first port of call.
Was a dream
or vision, supernatural dream or vision, normally featuring Jesus. And normally what happens in these dreams, I've listened to dozens of these testimonies of Muslims who have seen visions or dreams of Jesus. And in probably 95% of the times, the dream is very similar. They see Jesus calling them by their name, and usually Jesus says, go and talk to that person who's a Christian, and they're going to show you the way. Yeah, they're going to show you. And then the person comes to them and say, hey, look, I just had a dream. God sent me to your house. I think you're supposed to teach me the Bible, so here I am.
Yeah, wow.
But I'm a little bit. I have mixed feelings about that story.
Mixed feelings.
I have mixed feelings.
I have mixed feelings as well.
And I have one mixed feeling here in regards to just the general ethic of telling people like this, the spiritual walk of others. So this pastor here, I don't know if it's a good practice, Lawson. Like if you have a Bible study with someone and you go online and say, hey, by the way, guys, just had a Bible study with so-and-so and this is how their mind works and this is how they're very, very close to accepting Christianity. Number one, look, I was not there. I guess I have to take that pastor's word for granted.
Yeah.
In terms of very close, but it looks to me that he rejected pretty much, or he was not really convinced by any evidence in the world. And just because he said that he could not argue against dreams and revelations, then said like he's very close, to giving his heart to Jesus. Look, I don't know. I hope that this is true. Maybe it's a stretch. But the second thing is, I don't know if that's a good thing for Baron Trump to have his kind of spiritual life exposed publicly, even if it's a good thing.
Sure.
Even it's a good thing. I mean, one thing is for you to share something like in a prayer group and say, look, I'm witnessing to my friend and they're very close and like we were praising God and you're praying for it. The other thing is for you to go on national radio, national TV
and talk about,
hey, buddy, let me tell you, like, my Bible studies with all of these celebrities and tell you where they are in their spiritual life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I concur with that. No, I think no. I don't. Because for Baron Trump, then, like, people are going to start asking him questions. Oh, Baron, so are you close to giving your life to Jesus now? And what if that becomes a stumbling block for him?
Sure.
I don't know.
I really hear you, especially someone of like Baron Trump's status being like the son of the president and kind of the fame that comes with that in this day and age. Like, I always really feel sorry for famous people who give their heart to God, because then what comes with it is an expectation of, so what are you going to do about it? Like, what
a lot of
when
pressure.
are you going to start your ministry? When are you going to do this, do that, do that?
And everything that he does now, people are going to judge, is he a Christian or not a Christian? Is he being a good Christian or not being a good Christian? And so it's a lot of pressure. It's not an easy thing. God can sustain, but it's not an easy thing to be an ultra famous person. And that's one of the reasons why in the Bible, for example, the rich young ruler didn't want to follow Jesus because he realized, like, look, the cost of following Jesus is big. And if I'm having to put my fame, my position, my wealth down the line, look, for a lot of people, it's too much.
Yeah.
But I actually want to talk to you about dreams and visions.
Okay. What's
and
the go?
Look, while I think it's nice that when we're talking about dreams and revelations and supernatural things and wakes up people's desires to learn more about the Bible and supernatural, I like that. But on the other hand, I also must tell people that Satan is also capable of doing signs, dreams, revelations, and the likes. There's actually an entire chapter in the Bible that talks about these false dreams and revelations. And it is in chapter 13 of the book of Deuteronomy.
Yeah.
I'll read it here for you, Lawson.
Go for it.
If a prophet or a dreamer of dreams arises among you and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder comes true, and by sign of wonder, talking about supernatural miracles, talking about prophecies, that things in the future that will come to pass, on all these kinds of things. And if they come true, guess what you do? Do you believe in them automatically?
No.
No, this is what it says here. Concerning which he spoke to you, saying, and then after that he says, hey, let us go after other gods whom you have not known, and let us serve them. You shall not listen to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God is testing you to find out if you love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul.
Wow.
So God is saying here, look, if someone arises among you and he dreams, he's a prophet, he's talking about the future, it's coming true, but then there's something in his speech that is actually asking you to not follow the word of God, get rid of it. And the tricky thing is, let us go after other gods. Some people say, but they're saying, let's follow Jesus. Let's follow Jehovah. Let's follow Yahweh. But let's follow Yahweh according to whose command? According to the traditions of men or according to the word of God? And that's how the deception of Satan in the end of days is so much harder. Because a prophet is not going to say, hey, let's go and worship Baal. He's going to say, let's go and worship Jesus. But the details are in the fine print here. And for example, if they're saying, let's follow Jesus, and Jesus, by the way, is not requiring anyone to keep the 10 Commandments now, it's something of the past, well, then that you have to follow. God is testing you to see if you really love him and his word, or if you're just trusting your senses and falling to whatever supernatural manifestations you're seeing.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
And it's now the time, Lawson, that time of the week that we are all looking forward to. Our interview with Justin Lawson about geopolitics and what's going on in the world, and how does that relate to the Bible? But first, Justin, do we have you with us already?
I hope so, mate. I'm not too crackly, am I?
Not too crackly, not for me at least. But have you listened to Lawson's thing about Vilpa? Have you heard about that before? Like doing...
Look, I was imagining, did he say squats in the shower?
That's what Skafy said.
I was just trying to figure it out.
Man. I want to have a shower.
That's so real. That's so real.
Well, you can chase after your dogs vigorously while you're training them, and that will count. That will reduce your risk of death in like 40%, according to Lawson.
Hey, well, that's a good thing. I can put up with squats in the shower if that's okay.
Justin, tell us what's happening in the world, my friend.
Oh, lots. There's always lots happening. It's always hard to know what do I share, because you could spend hours and not cover everything.
Yes.
So this is the world according to Justin. Anyway, Ukraine is just such a worry. How many years have we been talking about this? 4 years it's been going on, this war. It seems like America...
It's true.
Yeah. It seems like America they're really pushing closer to Russia to get this thing stopped. And there's all sorts of threats of them pulling out entirely, which that's big. That's massive ramifications for Europe and us. Australia is all of a sudden we're being approached for drones and weapons and anything we can to contribute. This is being a really tough thing to try and bring to an end.
It is a big thing because the Western countries are very... there's going to be a big division there because most of the countries are supporting the efforts of helping Ukraine. Like you mentioned, Australia. I think that Prime Minister Albanese made it very clear that Australia is going to be giving a continuous support, like militarily, with equipment and stuff to Australia. Then you have most European countries saying that they're going to be on Ukraine's side, but then you have the United States, which is the biggest player of all, indicating otherwise. So that's going to drive a big divide politically, I'm assuming.
I don't see that Ukraine could be sustained by the West because China's in the background there with Russia as well. And without America, they just can't manufacture quick enough. Again, there's lots of innocent people. I'm not into which side's right and wrong and all that. We just need this thing to end.
Absolutely.
And it's been real tough.
Absolutely. And as they say, war is a lot of young men that do not hate each other, killing each other because of two old men that hate each other. So it's the young people, the young men are paying the tough price here because two old guys can't get along with what they want. So it's Justin, let's move on to. So do we have any news on the Epstein files release, or is that's just moving on the background?
It's just moving in the background. Like there's a lot of noise still, but will we see anything of significance? I'm not sure. There's so much control behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yeah, I'm skeptical that we're going to see anything big.
Yeah,
really.
I'm getting that way. I all sorts of promises, but not much delivered. Let's face it, they've had it for years and years. They could share it any time they wanted.
Yeah, that's very true.
There's a big thing brewing in the US, which I think has a direct impact on Bible prophecy. And at the moment, they're using the United States military to intervene on these drug running boats that are coming up from Venezuela.
Yes.
So historically, in the Western world, you get arrested or captured doing something, you get a day in court because you may or may not be innocent. And you have to go before the judge or a jury, and then you are convicted, and then you'll pay the price for your crime. There's a lot of noise at the moment because the United States, this is a domestic thing, drug running into the country, which is terrible and it's illegal. But they're just blowing these boats out of the water with missiles.
Yeah, with no questions being asked or anything.
There's no judge. Well, the military is now the judge, jury, and executioner. The whole thing in one go.
Yes, that's very worrying, isn't it? Particularly because, like, when your enemy knows that you're doing this, they can use that against you. In that they could, for example, what would be stopping them from running boats with innocent people that are threatened? So either you drive this boat forward, or we are going to kill you, and then you leave like innocent people out of choice there, and that is, I think, damaging. That can be damaging to even the United States image as the police of the world worldwide with these kinds of executions.
Well, right at the end, the United States in Bible prophecy is described as a lamb-like beast, which is a lamb being Christian, but in the end it speaks like a dragon. And this is not, we hate drugs and their impact on people, and I can understand they've had enough and they're stamping down their foot very firmly. But they're setting precedents here. And they use this the guise of terrorism. So they designate the Venezuela drug gangs as a terrorist organization. And once you've been designated as a terrorist organization, the gloves are off. They can do whatever they want, and they do whatever they want. And I think this is something that, you can see how this is going to be used increasingly in the future.
Yeah, and particularly the use of that, because back in the days, these kinds of things used to happen a lot, but nobody outside of the military or of the high politics would know. But now it's being broadcasted to the whole world to see. And I'm sure, I think that they're trying to communicate a message saying, hey, don't come with your drug boats to the United States, because but at the same time, it's quite confronting.
If you take a step back and look at the big picture, I think that's what we have to do, because we can get caught up in the politics of the time, the emotion of the news cycle. But just step back and look at the big picture. This is a bad precedent that they are using this level of force domestically.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's definitely a big thing. What's going on with the Somali community?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Has, Lawson would know lots about Minnesota.
Shout out to Timberwolves.
They are, Lawson, how would you describe aren't they called the friendly state or something?
Yeah, that's right. Minnesota is not only dubbed as the friendly state, but they're considered to be like a bit of a Canada 2.0, like the American version of like the politeness that is ascribed to Canada is usually usually put into Minnesota.
I didn't know that they were like that friendly.
Yeah, and they have a very distinct accent. That's kind of their vibe. Yeah.
Can you do that accent, Lawson?
I don't know. Maybe producer Cheryl can. It's not my thing. I think the only one is I can just pretend to be a Canadian that's from Minnesota. I think they do like the A's and O's, that kind of thing.
The roof.
Something like that.
The roof, yeah. Anyway.
So, Justin, Minnesota, the friendly state in the U.S., and there's something involving the Somali community there. What's happening?
Well, Somalia is a bit of a failed state back home, and Al-Shabaab is this big terrorist organization over there. He's another terrorist organization. They're Islamic. It appears that they've been using all sorts of schemes to take money and send it back home, and it's been skimmed off by this Al-Shabaab as it goes back home. And we're talking billions of dollars is what's being uncovered. And Donald Trump's reaction to that wasn't a mild reaction. He just wants to kick every Somali out of America.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, they're an Islamic country. They have a very prominent senator. There's the vice president to Kamala Harris in the last election was the guy who is the governor of that state.
Yeah, Tim
Remember
Walz.
him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Waltz. So this has blown up big, and the FBI are involved now. They are pursuing, and it's got a lot of politics, not just fraud. And so the Republican side of politics is just making this count for them. And the Democrats are defending and trying to, they've got themselves in a bad spot here politically. So this will play out in the next few weeks and months, but they've already charged, I think, 76 individuals with fraud. There's a lot more coming, is the word on the street. So this is something to keep an eye on, and how that pans out for the Islamic community, who have had a very prominent, they've become politically powerful in that state. And it appears that a lot of this was ignored because of the political clout that they have. And what's gone on in England, with parts of England having Sharia courts and everything, this is all blowing up in America right now as well. And just let's see what happens.
Wow. Well, that's definitely big news, particularly for the state of Minnesota, and see how the federal government in the United States going to respond to that. And Justin, coming back here to Australia, last week we were talking about the e-safety commissioner and this new initiative of the Australian government. I think it's a first in the world of
everyone's watching.
Yes, requiring age verification to access certain websites or to navigate through the webs. Do we have any news that come from that front?
Well, the minister, not the e-safety commissioner, but the minister planned a trip to New York, and I thought, man, Lawson must have been on this trip with them. 3 people. The trip was $100,000 or $98,000.
Oh wow!
And
Wow. For how many people?
3.
3 people.
Oh yeah, dude, we were eating up the minibar, bro. Like, you have no idea.
There's a lot of chocolate from the mini bars to get.
Hey, don't.
A lot of $10 chocolate bars.
Don't look for the Sprites, all right?
I don't know how they got it. Well, anyway, it is what it is, and there's a lot of politics around that. I think the e-safety commissioner is in a bit of trouble herself with how the fallout's going to go from this, and there's a lot of nervous people. Again, I can see 2 arguments for this. I don't like that 15-year-olds, under 15-year-olds are just getting influenced so much from social media. But at the same time, I'm the parent here. I'll manage my kids. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And you wonder how much they want to get this, how they want to identify us and manage the whole population and our use of the internet, and how that can be used for political ends. This is what makes everyone nervous, because
that's right.
Everyone knows every little bit they take more and more power and control, and that's the big concern with this thing. Yeah. So that's this week. We're soon going to see what happens.
That's right, and there always, as it normally goes, whenever certain freedoms are taken away, they very seldom are given back afterwards. It just becomes a new normal. Justin, thank you so much for sharing with us a lot of the things that are going on and things to keep our eyes on, keep that tab open.
Thanks for being a part of the Faith FM family. Join our community on Facebook or get in touch at 1-800-FAITH-FM.